So, Anne, you've written about this proposal in your brilliant Daily Express column this week. Do you think it's a more sensible proposal than some of the more extreme sex education, which is in the classroom at the moment?
I think it's far more sensible, but don't quite let Rishi Sunak get away with saying that he's having an inquiry. What he originally promised was an independent inquiry. That was the original promise. Now he seems to be saying that the Department of Education is going to carry out a review. Well, that's no good. They're marking their own homework. They're the ones who presided over this mess. And what you've said is quite true. Very young children are being taught about aspects of intimate behaviour, and worse still, their parents are not allowed to see the teaching materials and learn about what they are being taught because teachers can refuse that, whereas it used to be the case that parents had an absolute statutory right to withdraw their children from sex education if they didn't think what was being taught was appropriate. And I believe very firmly that that sort of information is best controlled by a parent who knows how ready a child is to receive that sort of information. And some parents will tell one child something at the age of 8 that they won't tell another until that child is 10 because they make judgments, and that's what parents are for. So I think there should be no sex education at all in primary schools before that in wrong. And I think that way the parents don't have to worry because they won't be learning inappropriate stuff. And then I think after that, the emphasis should be, and not exclusively, but the emphasis should be on stable marriage and on children being raised by a mum and dad in a long-term legal commitment. And that's where the emphasis should be. And there was a time when we all thought that.
So what about with teenagers, Anne? Because we know that in this horrible world of online harms everywhere, they're exposed from a very young age as teenagers to pornography and all of that. So how do you tackle it once they're in that age group?
Oh, I think there's no doubt at all that in secondary schools the issues have to be tackled. It's no good wishing that today's teenagers could be as innocent as yesterday's teenagers, because they won't be. The world is a very different place. And as you say, the huge role played by the internet has changed the whole game. So, of course, children should be taught when they are older. And I've got no problems with that at all, except that I still think it should be the case, even when they're older, that parents are fully informed as to what is going to be taught and what materials are going to be used, and that those parents have a right to object. Now, the problem is if parents of children that age, and you and I know this, parents of children of that age withdraw them from sex education lessons, they're going to find out from all their pals because their curiosity will be piqued and they'll probably get completely the wrong idea. So I think it's better that they're not withdrawn, but I think the parents should still have a very large say in what is taught, particularly in the early teens. I mean, I think after that, one's just got to be realistic.
And Anne, just finally, it was the debate in our clash tonight. What do you make of parents who are taking young kids to these drag queen story hours?
Well, my view is that there should certainly be no drag queen story hours in primary school, in a school setting. Obviously, what parents do has got to be a matter for parents, but I don't think it's a good idea. It depends entirely what the drag queen is saying, but we know that some of them have been into schools and talked about 73 genders or some such rot to very young children indeed. I mean, gosh.
Yeah, you can be an astro gender now or a blueberry. I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Ann Widdecombe, great to speak, Anne, and we will speak next week. Thank you very much. But